don't want to talk about the Patriots winning the Super Bowl.
No, I mean, I'm just saying. No, we are doing it. We are doing.
Every episode, you have to talk about how good the Patriots are.
Well, that's because they're good. I mean, it's not my fault that the Patriots are good all the time.
But
The
you keep
Panthers
bringing
are
it
good, but
up.
we don't talk about them every episode. Jeez.
No,
Oh
but
my God.
honestly, this is most likely the last episode we're doing of 2015, so that's why I think we should do this.
Can you say something other than Malcolm Butler?
No, because that's the best sports moment of 2015 for me. Like, I'm not going to say that. So, I mean, you guys obviously have something different that you guys can all say.
Yeah, but I don't know what the best sports moment of 2015 is. It's a whole year of
No, I'm just saying,
crap I gotta remember.
just for you, like you personally, what was the best?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Redskins clinching the division, that's not that great. They're gonna lose in the first round anyway.
I mean, or how about something from the Wizards in the playoffs last year? That was pretty sick. I mean, I know they didn't win, but
They
I
didn't go
mean,
anywhere.
What about the Caps losing to the Rangers in Game 7?
well, I guess
Oh yeah, that was a fantastic sports moment.
That was
that's
great.
so.
I
I guess
loved
that's
it.
Brian's
That's not mine.
sports moment in 2015.
That's not mine, but
All right,
I wanted to get
I'll
it
just
in
say
there.
I don't have a sports moment because all my teams are losers.
All right.
Actually, it might have been Kevin Durant calling out the Wizards fans. That was actually great. Because Wizards fans are a bunch of punks.
So I guess Kevin Durant isn't going to the Wizards when he becomes
No,
a
I
free
mean
agent.
most likely he still will. I don't know how he's feeling Oklahoma City still, but I mean there's still a good shot he'll go to come to Washington. I mean he hasn't re-signed with Oklahoma City yet, so you got to figure it's at least 50-50.
He's probably not going to sign with them during the season if he
Yeah,
does choose to re-sign. So he'll
yeah, but
probably just wait until the off season.
yeah. Walk off. All right.
Also, you don't necessarily have to think of something from like one of your teams. Like it could be like the World Cup. I think that might be
My
Brian.
moment, so don't take it.
What?
That's my moment, so don't take
Okay.
it. Yeah,
But yeah,
No,
just like for
Ethan,
an example.
Ethan, you can take that moment if you want and not talk about the Patriots. That'd be great.
No, because I didn't really pay attention to the Women's World Cup, so.
Well, if you can pick out anything other than the Patriots, that'd be great.
I don't.
We talk about them literally every episode. It's ridiculous.
Well, they're good, so.
Yeah, they're good, so let's just talk about them and nothing else. Alright. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I don't have any music, so I'm just gonna put it in afterwards or whatever.
Sean, did you see Force Awakens?
Yeah, I did. It's fantastic.
So
Did you
good,
guys-
right?
Yeah. Ethan, did you see it? Ethan? Hello?
I did.
Oh, okay. Good.
Afterwards. And yeah, didn't you not hear me?
You're breaking
Yeah,
up
and
a
I was
lot.
just like, Brian asked me how it was, and I was like, absolutely fantastic. Oh,
I only know one person who didn't like it.
alright.
Are they a terrorist?
What? Who?
Danny Shea didn't like it.
Who didn't like it, Brian?
Danny Shea.
I don't think I I don't know if Danny Shea actually likes Star Wars.
I don't know either.
Count. All right, let's just start.
Alright. Give me 1 second.
Also, rest in peace, Meadowlark Lemon.
I don't know who that is.
Harlem
Did you
Globe.
guys hear what I said?
Oh, right. Yeah, you're lagging. Ethan, you're lagging a lot right now.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
You should probably kill yourself.
What?
That's dark.
Sorry. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just really frustrated this morning. I tried to update my Windows to Windows 10, and then my Wi-Fi didn't work, so I had to go
Okay.
back to Windows 8, and now I have to reinstall all my crap.
That sucks.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't have a laptop right now because my dad spilled water on it when I was home for Christmas, so.
That
It
sucks.
sucks, but it'll be back by Friday. It's my
That's not
fault.
funny,
I left the
dude. That's
water and the
legendary.
laptop right there, and he was vacuuming.
I had that happen one time. I left a glass of water next to my computer, and my phone was vibrating, and I was drunk and asleep. So my roommate came over and to turn it off, and he yanked up the cord, and it spilled the water all over my laptop.
Oh.
Yeah, it sucked.
But my dad paid for the repairs, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Pulse. I'm Sean McNiff.
I'm Brian Brennan. And where's Ethan Winter?
God damn it.
Ah.
Ethan, are you frozen?
Oh my God! Come on, Ethan.
Oh, this sucks.
Oh, he left the call.
Ethan quit. I'm Brian Brennan, and Ethan Winter quits.
Oh man, I'm so happy I don't have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, that's cool.
I get to sleep in. Thank God. I'll be right back.
All right, I'll be here.
I wanted to study the pizza menu.
Alright, sorry guys, I'm back.
Hey.
Hooray.
Start. So this doesn't happen again. Alright, guys, ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Pulse. I'm Sean McNiff.
I'm Brian Brennan.
I'm Ethan Winter.
And it's week 17 in the NFL. Redskins just clinched the NFC East division. Hardly. They're I think
Oh,
they're eight and
barely.
seven. Yeah, they're 8-7 right now. That the
Best of the worst.
Yeah, Eagles and Giants are not much worse. But Redskins are in the playoffs, got that 4 seed. Jets looking like they're gonna be in the playoffs.
Yeah, they had a ton of help with the Steelers
Yeah,
losing to Baltimore.
Yeah, for real. And the
they got
Patriots screwing up the coin toss. That didn't hurt either.
Well, let's talk about that because I have some thoughts on it.
Yeah,
Um,
and for those of you who
yeah,
don't know, the Patriots elected to kick off in overtime, which is absolutely unheard of.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
If you score a touchdown, if the first team that possesses the ball scores a touchdown, they win the game, which the Jets did, and the Patriots lost the game. So, Ethan, please explain your coach's
yeah.
decision.
It was definitely unconventional. I was a little shocked myself when I heard that Matthew Slater say we want to kick that way. And I guess the confusion was that Matthew Slater, what he meant to say was we want to take that side of the field. He wanted to defer the decision to the Jets to either kick or receive the ball, but instead he said kick. So the Jets had the opportunity to um, decide which direction they want to go, and Matthew Slater thought he could choose to kick and choose which direction to kick the ball to, but that wasn't the case. Um, I I don't agree with Belichick's decision to kick the ball away. But I do see his thinking, and I can't really criticize um, Bill for making that decision a whole lot because I can definitely see where his thinking was coming from. The defense was the best unit, was the Patriots' best unit that day. They were playing really well, especially in the fourth quarter. Had quite a few big stops of the Jets on defense. Um, and so I think what Bill had faith that his defense would be able to stop the Jets, hopefully force a punt, and at the very least, or at the very worst, give up a field goal. But obviously it didn't work out, and it's not a guarantee that the Patriots would have even scored a touchdown on the first possession of overtime anyway, had they decided to receive the ball or even score any points for that matter. Um, and also the offensive line was terrible, and I just can't. A lot of people in Boston are like on the radio are criticizing Belichick, saying this was his worst decision ever. I'm not going to go that far. I disagree with the decision. I would have wanted the ball if I was Coach Belichick, but I can't hammer him for the decision that he made.
I don't
See,
know how you I don't
I
know how
don't.
you cannot hammer him for that decision because it's just an idiotic decision.
Well, I
So
don't
so
really
what if your
understand because there's
defense
so
is
much
playing well?
confusion
If you
as to
score, then
what
you win the
happened.
game.
Wait, one at a time here.
Yeah, seriously, there's so much confusion as to what happened. I mean, people. I think Belichick, honestly, he came out and said, didn't he say that that's what he wanted to do?
Yeah,
Which
and I believe him.
But at the same time, you look at the play, you look at the coin toss, and Slater seems so confused by what's going on.
Like I said at the beginning, I think the confusion with Slater was that he thought he could choose which direction that they wanted to defend or kick the ball to. And he misspoke in that sense in which it allowed the Jets to choose what direction they want to receive the ball at. That's where the confusion was. The confusion was in regards to the direction, not whether the Patriots wanted to kick or receive first.
So are you saying
what direction?
So I'm a little confused. So are you saying that Slater wanted to kick? When he
No.
went there?
Well, Belichick wanted to kick, and Slater
Well-
at the end of the game said, I mean, as a player, you obviously want to have the ball first, but as a team captain, I just gotta relay the information or the decision that Coach Belichick wants, and he wanted to kick the ball away. I mean, that's
I
what
don't
he said in
understand how that's a
postgame.
good decision. I don't know. I don't understand how you can defend that decision.
Well, okay, so this is
Who cares if your defense is playing well? If they score, they win. If you score or you don't score, then let your defense play well. But putting your defense on first in overtime is stupid.
well. Think of it this way, Sean. In college football, now I know overtime in college football and the pros is not um, is different. It's not the
Totally
same,
different.
but it is still with the new overtime rule changes. It's still similar in a way. It's a lot closer than what it used to be, in which the NFL was obviously sudden death overtime, in which it was a no-brainer to receive the ball first.
Right.
But now that in order for it to be sudden death, the team has to score a touchdown. It gives it a little bit more strategy in what you want to do. So in college football, if you win the coin toss in overtime, you always want to receive the ball second. Because then you know how many points you have to score in order to win or to tie. So I think that's where the thinking was coming from with Belichick. Now again, like I said, if I was Coach Belichick, I would have chosen to get the ball first in overtime. But I can definitely understand the thinking that Belichick was going with. So I can't absolutely hammer him for making the decision that he made.
Well, I'm trying to think of his thought process here. So he was thinking his I guess he was thinking his offense was probably not going to get a touchdown first.
Yes.
So
or he didn't have faith that the offense was going to be able to march down the field again and even score points. And so what he wanted to do, or what he was trying to do, was if the defense could get a 3-and-out, you'll get the ball back in decent field position. You'd only have to march or go 30 yards in order to set up for a game-winning field goal. That's what Belichick's thinking was.
Do you think there's any truth to the theory that Bill Belichick?
I know what you're gonna say, and no.
He had seen that the Steelers
No.
had lost.
There
and
is
he wanted the easier
there
in the playoffs.
there is 0% chance that was the thought process.
If there's
0%
true,
chance.
I lost all respect for Bill Belichick. If it is true,
Well, it's not.
and I don't have a lot of respect for Bill Belichick.
There is 0% chance that was happening. that was happening. People that say that are complete morons.
Wait, Brian, what's your theory that
This is
there's a conspiracy theory out here that
what is the theory?
Belichick saw that the Steelers had lost, and he thought that the Jets would be an easier potential playoff opponent than the Steelers, so he decided to tank or have the Patriots lose on purpose in overtime to knock the Steelers out of the playoffs. That theory is absolutely horse crap, because
that's a ridiculous
if the
theory.
Patriots win that game on Sunday, they have home field advantage throughout the playoffs up until the Super Bowl. So that theory is a absolute piece of crap.
Also,
Uh,
you're not going to change your game plan in the middle of the fourth quarter
right,
to
exactly.
lose
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Plus, they had
because of
already came
something.
all
It's
the way back from a
right,
14-point deficit to tie it.
right.
So that theory is bullcrap.
Okay, I'm still I'm still having a hard time understanding Bill Belichick's thought process. Even if you put your offense on the field first, and if you only score a field goal, they
You
can
get the
still
ball
score
back.
a touchdown and win the game.
Yes.
But if they only score a field goal, which was likely because it was a 20-20 game,
Right.
um, the Patriots would have got the ball back, and they would have only had to score a field goal to win.
No.
So
It to so that's only if the Jets got like a 3-and-out and had to punt it away.
no. Putting the Patriots offense on the field first, they would have
Right.
only had
It
to have
would.
gotten a field goal to
No. No.
extend
No.
it, even if they didn't get a touchdown.
No. Right. So if they had the ball first and the Patriots kicked a field goal, the Jets would still get the ball, and the defense would have had to make the stop in order to win it. And the Jets could have kicked a field goal to extend it, or still scored a touchdown and would have been able to win it.
Either way, I think overtime's got to change in the NFL.
I still
think
don't
it's just like
understand.
so.
So do you think
It's just
do you
this is a
think
ridiculous thought
overtime
process.
should just go to the college rules in which
Yes.
both teams
Well,
get the ball no matter what?
I don't think it should
Not on
be.
the 25-yard line.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
was gonna
agree.
say.
I agree with that.
With like maybe at the 50-yard line would be fair if you did it in the NFL, but you can't. I think it should be untimed. There is no reason that the NFL should still even remotely consider ties an option, and the fact that you can tie in an NFL game is just ridiculous. And
Well,
so
even
I think
college
they need
games
to
go to like 5 overtimes some
right
weeks, and
because
in the
if
NFL,
somebody wins,
that's too
somebody has to
tiring.
win.
You can't. I know, but in week 5, you can't have a 5 overtime game. That's
Right.
just going to tire out the players.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like it's just
cause too much
there
injury.
needs to
But
be a
yeah,
better way.
I mean,
I'd say there's definitely is a better way, and I think
Yeah.
if you have overtime, like you said, if you put them at the 50 and do the college rules or whatever, that would be better. And in the regular season, if they go more than 2 overtimes, let's say, then call it a draw, whatever. Ties don't really matter in the NFL.
well,
I don't like ties.
Also,
Nobody likes ties, but I mean, it's not that big of a problem.
also, I think what you can do is, so in college, after the third overtime, if you score a touchdown, you have to go for 2. Maybe what you do in the NFL is after the second overtime, you have to go for 2, if that makes sense. Or just have it like an extra regular quarter, in which both teams have an opportunity to have the ball, and if there's a defensive score, then the game's over. Or if it's over anyway, just it's that way in college too. And you just play it out until a team it has to punt or is on 4th down. Right. I don't know. I'm starting to speak gibberish now, but do you guys like kind of see what I'm getting at?
No, I think that it should be that way.
A little bit.
The NFL obviously needs to change its overtime rules just because ties are the devil and it's just awful and they shouldn't happen in any professional sport except for soccer. But I think that they need to come up with something like
Or
maybe
hockey.
untimed.
But even
overtime.
hockey doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hockey doesn't have overtimes in it, or excuse me, hockey doesn't have ties, and overtime is so much better now because it's 3-on-3. First goal wins, and if you don't win in overtime, you go to a shootout. Now, I mean, I'm not saying the NFL should go to like a field goal kicking contest or whatever, but I
That'd be
think
pretty
that
cool, actually.
that would be pretty awesome. But I think that the ideal situation would be you put your team at the 50-yard line, and you give them a chance to win it, and then you give the other team a chance to win it. If they don't score, you go to a second overtime, and then maybe you go for two.
Yeah, honestly, I think Brian's idea might work the best, actually.
Wasn't that your idea too? I mean,
no, well, mine was it's like a regular quarter, and you just so you kick off and say you march down the field, score a touchdown, you kick the extra point. Then the other team gets the ball back, and they have an opportunity to score a touchdown to tie it. And you just like play like a regular quarter.
right.
You know, I mean, my idea would still like allow an opportunity for a potential tie to happen, but at least both teams would get the chance to possess the ball no matter what.
Right.
And I think overtime in the NFL has gotten better with the new overtime changes, but obviously there's still room for improvement.
Yep.
But speaking of ties, I just hate how Madden just loves ties. There's always at least one tie a season in Madden. Sometimes even two. Like I just don't get it.
A lot of teams tie in Madden. It's crazy.
It's so annoying.
We're kind of going off track here. Let's move on to a Week 17 preview. A lot of these games don't really matter.
Why don't we just talk about the games that do matter, to be honest?
Like the Redskins game, they've already got the 5th spot. Dallas is already out of it.
Yeah.
Jets at Buffalo.
If that game does matter.
Yeah, if the Jets win,
they're in.
They're definitely in the playoffs. If they win and the Steelers lose, I believe. Shit, hold on.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Is that you, Brian?
No, that was me.
No, that was Sean.
It was pop up. So if the Jets win and the Steelers lose, they get the 5th spot? Is that right?
I think if the Jets win, no matter what, they're in the playoffs.
Yes.
I think that it...
I just missed what you said.
I didn't say anything. The Jets win, they're in the playoffs.
Yes.
Steelers lose, Jets lose.
Jets are in the playoffs. Jets lose, Steelers win. Steelers are in the playoffs.
There's almost, I would say, no chance that either Kansas City or Denver isn't the number 5 seed.
Well, both teams clinched a playoff spot.
Right. It's just a matter of who wins the division. But I think that
if San Diego beats Denver and Kansas City wins, then the Chiefs are AFC West Division champions.
Right. And I think maybe the number 2 seed too.
No.
They wouldn't be the number 2 seed?
No, they would need in order for the Chiefs.
Okay.
The highest the Chiefs can be is the 3 seed.
Okay. But Denver would be the 2.
Right.
Okay.
So Colts are still alive, apparently.
Yeah, the Colts need like 2 things to happen.
They need 10 scenarios to happen.
Yeah. I'm just looking at CBS's playoff picture scenario. So the Jets can clinch a playoff berth with a win or a tie, or a Pittsburgh loss or tie. But if the Jets lose and the Steelers win, then the Steelers are in. And I guess I'm not sure how the Jets can get the 5th overall seed, but they can. I think if the Chiefs lose and the Jets win, then the Jets get the 5th spot. I'm not sure, but Jets are in
Yep.
if they win. They're playing Rex Ryan and the Bills. Who do you guys have for that game?
I got the Jets.
Which one?
I think that that the Jets are playing, honestly, outside of the Chiefs, maybe the best football in the AFC right now. And
I disagree with that.
well,
I mean,
I knew you would, but anyway.
well, I mean, the Jets are obviously playing well, but they barely beat the Cowboys. I would say, even though Pittsburgh lost last week, I would say the Chiefs and the Steelers are playing the best football in the AFC.
I don't think the Steelers are playing better than the Jets.
Steelers just lost to the Ravens.
Yeah, they just lost to the Ravens.
Well, I mean,
they played a horrible game.
I know, but I mean, outside of that game, the Steelers. I mean, before that game, the Steelers and the Chiefs were the hottest teams in football, and I still think if the Jets and the Steelers were to play each other, the Steelers would win.
That doesn't matter. The Jets are going to be in the playoffs. I think they're going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I picked the Bills for 2 reasons.
You hate the Jets.
One.
Oh, okay, so make that 3 reasons. But the two main reasons, aside from my pettiness and hating the Jets, is the Bills are at home, and Rex Ryan would love nothing more than to beat his former team and knock them out of the playoffs. So that's why I have the Bills winning this week. But the Jets do have the momentum. They're playing good football, as you said, Brian, coming off of a huge win against the Patriots last week to keep their playoff hopes alive. But I think Rex Ryan would love nothing more than to play spoiler to the Jets. So
yeah, but the Jets are just
I'm going with the Bills.
Better than the Bills. It's not even close how much better the Jets are than the Bills.
The Bills aren't very good.
I think the Bills beat the Cowboys, and the Jets almost lost to the Cowboys. So.
Well, yeah, that doesn't matter.
Bills also lost to the Jets in their first.
No, actually, the Bills
game,
won that game when the Bills were actually much better at the beginning of the season.
Yes.
But things just fell apart.
I do have this though. I picked, even though we didn't do a show last week, I picked the Falcons to beat the Panthers last week, and I was right. So
because you hate the Panthers for some reason too.
You make me hate the Panthers. I like
Which is so stupid.
All right, let's not
Luke Kuechly and Greg Olsen.
The dumbest thing ever, by the way.
But
you picked the Panthers to lose this week too?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, of course they're not going to lose to Tampa Bay. They're not going to lose until they win the Super Bowl.
Well, I didn't think they were going to lose last week against the Falcons because they crushed the Falcons 2 weeks ago.
Wait, what did you say, John?
I said I didn't think they were going to lose against the Falcons either because they crushed the Falcons.
Nobody did.
Right.
How do I make you hate the Panthers? I don't get that, by the way. What do I do that makes you hate the Panthers?
You're just annoying about it. You're annoying about the Panthers.
They're awesome.
All right.
So good.
Well, we'll talk about another reason why I don't really like the Panthers later on in the show. But let's move on to the other games this week that matter.
All right. Patriots Miami game. Does that matter? Patriots can they clinch home field?
Yeah, because if the Patriots win, they clinch home field. And if the Patriots lose and the Broncos win, then the Broncos have home field.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who do you guys think is going to win that game? I guess we're all on the Patriots.
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah.
All right. New Orleans, Atlanta, that game doesn't matter. They're both out of the playoffs. Baltimore, Cincinnati.
I think the Falcons aren't.
No, they're done. They were.
Are they officially eliminated?
Yeah, they were eliminated when the Vikings won. The NFC is set.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
The teams in the NFC are set. It's just the seeding that's not set.
Okay, yeah.
None of the
Because
seeding is set.
I remember last week the Falcons were still technically in the hunt, so
Right.
I wasn't sure if they were still in it or if they were out. Um,
Um, Ravens are going to Cincinnati to face the Bengals, and the Cincinnati Bengals can clinch a first round bye if they win, and Denver loses or ties, or if they tie and Denver loses, or if Denver loses and Kansas City wins. That's a mouthful, but if they win and Denver loses, Cincinnati clinches a first round bye. Otherwise, they don't have a first round bye.
right.
So, Ravens at Cincinnati. Who do you guys got?
I have the
Eagles.
Bengals.
Yeah, we're all on the Bengals bandwagon. Even though AJ McCarron fumbled the ball to lose the game in overtime last night.
And might be out, by the way. He apparently got hurt on that play.
Was he any good? I didn't watch the game. I haven't
didn't
seen
either.
AJ
I
McCarron.
didn't watch the game. I think John Rice said that he looked pretty good early on.
Yeah.
I like McCarron. McCarron, I think, could start for a number of teams in the NFL, but
Really.
yeah, but
Well, I don't know about that, but I mean, yeah, he has played pretty well in his first 2 weeks as the Bengals quarterback. So
Yeah.
I mean, I used to say the same thing about Kirk Cousins, and look where that got him.
Hey, Kirk Cobain.
You like that?
You like that, yeah?
Yeah, the Ravens are coming off an inspired win against the Steelers, but I think Cincinnati's just overall a better team, and I don't think they're going to carry the inspiration into this week. So I'm going with the Bengals.
I do see I do see a potential Ravens upset. I think the Ravens could potentially win this game. I could definitely see that happening. Because, like you said, Sean, they are playing inspired after that win last week against the Steelers, and also AJ McCarron's availability in question, and I don't think Carson Palmer's ready to come back yet. So that.
You mean Andy Dalton?
Yeah, that's what I meant, Andy Dalton. So that's a bit of a question mark. And actually, last week's win for the Ravens, it's kind of like it kind of reminded me of Thanksgiving football games and high school Thanksgiving football games where you could have a shitty season, but if you beat your Thanksgiving Day rival, it makes the entire season worth it. So good for the Ravens. I mean, I know you don't really hear me say that a whole lot, but they swept the Steelers, so kind of a inspiring 2 wins for them in a season of in just a shitty season. So yeah.
Yeah. We'll see that game's at 1:00 in Cincinnati. Next up, Pittsburgh is going to Cleveland to face the Browns. Pittsburgh can clinch the playoff spot with a win and the Jets' loss. I've got the Steelers winning this game, but I also got the Jets winning their game, so I think the Jets going to get in the playoffs. What do you guys think?
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
I have the Steelers winning, and also I have the Jets losing. So I think the Steelers will make the playoffs. I hope the Steelers make the playoffs because I don't want to see the Jets in the playoffs. But will that happen? That's another story. But for my picks, I have the Steelers and the Bills winning. So I have the Steelers in the playoffs.
Yeah, I have the Steelers winning, but I don't think it's going to mean anything because the Jets are going to win.
I do have to say this, though, about the way that the NFL scheduled Week 17. I love that they have all divisional matchups this week, and I also like the fact that they are playing games that have immediate playoff implications at the same time. So, like,
Yeah, I do like that also.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And actually there's talk that the Patriots-Dolphins game could be flexed to 4:25 because that's when the Broncos are playing, and the Broncos and Patriots, the results of those two games directly impact each other. Um, so that might happen. But I like that they're pinning games that have direct playoff implications with each other playing at the same time because it really improves the integrity of the game. So you don't have teams trying to lose on purpose to let another team in or vice versa. And it really keeps the competition of and the quality of play in Week 17 up as well.
Right. What game were we on? Houston. Houston stays at home and faces the Jaguars. Houston wins the division if they win or if Indianapolis loses.
Well, I think,
and also like one other crazy scenario. I don't know. I'm not even gonna read it off.
I think even if the Texans lose and the Colts win, the Texans still win the division. Like we said, there's Colts need like 10 different things to go their way in order for them to win the division, and I don't even know what those scenarios are.
Yeah, it's a scenario with like 10 different things that have to happen.
Right.
It's not likely. So the Houston Texans most likely have the division.
But who knows? A lot of crazy things happen in the NFL, and I mean, this time next week we could see the Colts in the playoffs.
You never know.
You never know. Any given Sunday, right?
Yeah. Win the Super Bowl, drive off in a Hyundai.
I don't even get that, but oh well.
Kanye. It's Kanye lyric.
Kanye lyric, yeah. All right. Redskins, Cowboys. That game doesn't really matter, and everyone knows the Redskins are gonna win. Tampa Bay, Carolina. Does that game matter?
Well, Carolina hasn't clinched home field yet. So.
Yeah. The Panthers need to win. If they win, they clinch home field, and if they lose, they need Arizona to lose to Seattle. Right. In order to clinch home field. They're like in the same situation as the Patriots, and if they just win, they take care of it themselves. But they lose, they need something else to go their way.
Right, and they're playing Tampa Bay, so they're most likely gonna win anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at home too.
Right. Kansas City.
But I do have to say this though before we move on. Sorry, Sean. Okay. I saw something where that every team that started off like 7-0, after they lost their first game, they then lost the next week as well. So that you have that trend going on this season too. So, I mean,
that's not gonna happen.
The Panthers could finish 14-2 and. Arizona could end up with the number 1 seed. Is it likely?
Nope.
I don't know, but I think it definitely could happen.
The Cardinals are playing good football too.
Who?
The Cardinals. They're playing good football right now.
Yeah, they're probably the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, they just destroyed the Packers 38-8. It was an ugly game to watch.
And the Cardinals, they definitely are the healthiest and probably the most complete team right now in the NFL.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
So.
But if they have to come to Charlotte, then all bets are off. Because I just don't see the Panthers losing here.
See, this is why you're annoying about the Panthers.
How is that annoying? That's all I'm saying. They're not. I don't think the Panthers are going to lose in Charlotte.
Yeah, but you're also dismissing any other possibilities.
No, I'm just saying that if the Arizona Cardinals have to come here, they are not going to win.
I don't know. Like we've said, crazy things have happened.
I don't think the Cardinals are better than the Panthers, but that's just me.
Well, the Cardinals are the best team
They're
in football right
playing
now.
better than the Panthers right now, but are they better?
Let's just move on from the fucking Panthers. Let's move on. All right, Chargers, Broncos, or actually, Chiefs, Raiders still have playoff implications, I think, right? Yeah.
Right. Hold on, where is it at? Uh, Kansas City can clinch the AFC West Division title with a win and a Denver loss. Which I don't think is very likely. The Denver Broncos are playing the Chargers, who are absolutely horrible.
Yeah, but
and the Raiders might put up a fight against the Chiefs too.
Yeah, I definitely could see a possibility where the Raiders win on Sunday. But also, I don't think the Chargers-Broncos game is a slam dunk for the Broncos because the Broncos haven't really been playing their best football. And while the Chargers have been terrible, I mean, division games are always tough. So I could potentially see the Chargers winning. I don't think it will happen, but I definitely see the possibility where they could.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any chance for the Chargers to win.
Yeah,
But
no way.
I do see your thought process in any given Sunday. Next we got,
if the Broncos are playing better, then I wouldn't say that the.
Well, they just beat the Bengals. What do you mean if they're playing better?
Well, I mean.
Bengals are one of the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah, but they
Chargers
also
are
have
one of the worst
AJ
teams
McCarron
in the
as their
AFC.
quarterback. The Chargers have Philip Rivers as their quarterback, and he's despite him
Philip
playing
Rivers,
on a
who's
shitty
done
team,
absolutely nothing this year.
No,
Go ahead.
despite playing on a shitty team, he's quietly been having a very good season this season.
Hardly.
So I mean,
He actually is having a very good season, to be honest, because he was my backup quarterback in fantasy, and he actually is playing pretty well. But I don't think that's going to change. That the Chargers aren't going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Chargers are going to win, but I think there's a possibility that an upset could happen. I mean, like I said, the Broncos aren't exactly playing their best football right now. They're a little bit inconsistent, especially on offense, which they have been all season. So, I mean, like I said, anything can happen. I don't think the Chargers will win, but they definitely could. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I think there's a better chance that the Raiders beat the Chiefs than the Chargers beat the Broncos, though. If that makes makes you feel any better.
All right. Next is Seattle going to Arizona. Then Arizona can clinch home field with a win and Carolina loss. But as we said before, that's not very likely, especially since the Seahawks are red hot. And
Oh, they lost to the Rams last week.
Oh, true. So they're
in
not red hot,
Seattle,
but they're
Seattle.
They're still playing very good football. I didn't see the game last week, so I don't know. But the weeks before, they've been on fire. So that game is going to be very interesting. Two very good defenses going at it. Who do you guys have for that game?
I have the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think I've got Arizona in that one too, but it'll be a good one. Seattle, until last week, had been playing really great. I don't know what happened against the Rams, but that was a disaster.
Yeah, the Cardinals absolutely demolished the Packers last week, so I'm going with the Cardinals as well.
And the Seahawks, I think they lost by a good margin to the Rams too. So
right.
I think that the Seahawks have clinched the playoffs. I'm pretty sure
they have.
But I could see them losing 2 straight heading into the playoffs and finishing the year 9-7.
Last up, Minnesota at Green Bay for the Sunday night game. This one is for the division title. I think the loser will still get a wild card spot. I've got the Packers just because I'm a pseudo Packers fan. But this Packers played like crap last week. Vikings are been pretty good all year. Who do you guys have?
I have the Packers winning this week. It's at home. I know they got killed by the Cardinals last week, but the Packers always play their best against the Vikings, and the Vikings always seem to crap the bed when they play the Packers. So it's a big game. Both teams will be heading to the playoffs regardless. But I have the Packers winning the NFC North.
Yeah, I got Green Bay in this one too. The game's in Lambeau. It's just tough for teams to go in there and win. It can be done, but I don't. It's a lot easier than it used to be because teams win in Lambeau all the time now. But I do think that the Packers will win this one.
And if the Packers do win this week, we'll have a rematch of the NFC Championship game wild card weekend, with Green Bay playing host to the Seahawks as the 6th seed.
That is true.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's only if the Seahawks beat the Cardinals.
Good to know.
Keep that in mind.
Moving on. Odell Beckham Jr. was suspended last week for on-field shenanigans.
Let's just say
against the Panthers a week or two ago.
Let's just say what it was. He got suspended for his totally uncalled for blindside helmet-to-helmet hit of Josh Norman. That's what he was suspended for. He wasn't really suspended for any of the other nonsense that went on. He was suspended for that hit.
And he should have been ejected for that hit, to be honest.
Yes, 100% agreed. I mean, I didn't see the game, so I don't really know exactly what Josh Norman did. I think he kind of body slammed Odell Beckham Jr. a few times, which is questionable and
Josh Norman
could warrant an ejection too.
Josh Norman is, Josh Norman deserves, I wouldn't say as much blame as Odell Beckham for what happened, but it definitely didn't exactly help his own cause with his actions either. He behaved like a child on the field. And
both players did.
Yeah, it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And I've never seen two guys on a football field go at it the way these two were. And if the Panthers don't make the Super Bowl, the NFL has to do the right thing and put them on separate Pro Bowl teams so we can have this happen again. Or not what happened, but just have them go against each other again just to see what happens. I think that'd just be crazy.
No, I think I kind of disagree with you on the Pro Bowl aspect. I think you need to put them on the same team so you don't see the same nonsense again.
But then you'd have them fighting on the sidelines.
Oh, who?
That's doubtful.
Who's to say that they would actually fight? I mean, it's the freaking Pro Bowl. No one
would make things interesting. Would make things interesting.
It definitely would. But like, no one's gonna watch the Pro Bowl anyway.
Yeah.
But this all started from, and we were talking about this a little bit before the show, but this started when a Panthers practice squad player walked up to the Giants as they were coming onto the field holding a Louisville Slugger baseball bat and whacking it into his hand in a menacing way.
Right, now, which is fucked up.
Yeah, it's definitely messed up. It's totally uncalled for and unnecessary. And I think the Panthers, while I do like Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, and Greg Olsen, I think the Panthers are sneakily under the radar, a dirty team.
I disagree.
Just
I just think
let me
that
just fucking talk, Brian. Jesus.
you just made your point. I'm making my
No,
counter point here.
I didn't finish my point.
All right, well, finish.
And I think what happened 2 weeks ago against the Giants is a clear indication why they are sneaky, a dirty team. And you even got complaints last week from the Falcons players saying that the Panthers are sore losers. I mean, teams lose all the time, every week. There's a team that loses, and you need to be able to win with grace and lose with grace, especially as an actual player on the team. And so this is why. I mean, I'm glad that the Panthers are playing well and are having a great season, but this is why they sort of are rubbing me the wrong way.
The Panthers, I think, are honestly not dirty at all. You have to look at how many classy guys are on this team. You got Cam Newton, Greg Olsen, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Charles Tillman. You have all guys who could have been nominated and won Man of the Year in the NFL. And these guys, I mean, they're just a great team. And I mean, yes, what happened in New York was terrible. The practice squad player should have been cut immediately. I don't know why he wasn't.
Well, you know why he's on the practice squad? It's because he was already cut and no team picked him up.
Right.
So he's on the practice squad.
They should just get rid of him completely, make him unemployed for what he did. But I think that, Ron Rivera did the right thing banning the bat from.
Oh, I don't think Ron Rivera banned the bat. It was the NFL. It was the NFL told him that they can't bring the bats anymore.
Well, people
that comes from the NFL, not from Ron Rivera.
The practice squad player did what he did. People misinterpreted what the bat was for, and I mean.
But still, there's no need to bring the baseball bat onto the field. And I don't even understand why the practice squad player was even on the field. If you're not dressed
with the team.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand why he was on the field with the Panthers. I don't understand why he was even traveling with the team. I mean, if you're not dressed, you should go up top in a luxury box suite, just like in hockey. For the guys that don't dress, but this is what I'm talking about. And three of the guys that you mentioned, I said I like those guys: Luke Kuechly, Cam Newton, and Greg Olsen. Those three players that you mentioned as being classy guys, I already said that I
right.
like.
I know, and I'm saying that the whole team is very classy. I mean, they're. I
don't know.
I live here. I know what they do in the community. I know how good people they are.
Brian, every team has players that go out into the community and do community service.
The Panthers are different, though. These guys care
they're just
about
like
the
there's just like every single fucking
team.
It's no different. It's no different. I mean, every team has players that have charities that go do stuff out in the community. It doesn't. That's not what separates a team or makes a team classy or dirty or not. It's what happens on the field is what that separates them.
And the Panthers have been the class of the NFL this season on the field.
No,
15-1. They're gonna get 15-1. They've been the best team in football all season.
You're missing my point. You're missing my point. It's how they conduct themselves on the field, not what they do.
And I think honestly, the Falcons were just salty. They're just salty. They're not making the playoffs.
Why would they be salty after they beat a team that just beat them 38-0?
Because they're not going to playoffs.
See, I don't agree with your stance on that. don't
I don't
necessarily
like
think that
Charles
the
Johnson
Falcons are.
going up to players and saying, "Who the hell are you?" I don't like that. I don't like any of that. I think trash talk is a little over the top sometimes. But every team, you say every team gives back to the community. Well, every team talks trash. Every team goes at it.
Yeah, but
Football is the most intense game.
no other team brings fucking baseball bats onto the field.
That wasn't the
in
point of
warm-ups.
the bat. Was that they did it every other game of the season up to that point. I'm not defending.
Right, and the one game that they couldn't bring the bats on the field, they lost.
And you say, who gives a shit? Like, it's a baseball bat.
Yeah, but you don't bring a What do you need a baseball bat on the field for in football?
I think it's
intimidation tactic.
It's exactly that's where they're going over the top and they're crossing the line.
But the point of the bat wasn't to threaten other players, and that's
obviously, the Panthers players were doing that.
The one practice squad guy was doing it.
I don't think it was just him. I think there were other players too. I think Josh Norman might. I think the practice squad player was the worst.
Nobody else pointed the bat at Odell. It was just him, as far as we know.
I think this is why I think the Panthers are sneaky under the radar, a dirty team, because they don't seem like they are a dirty team. But if you uncover the layers, it'll show the true colors of that team. And every team has classy guys. Every team has guys that are dirty. But I think Josh Norman went over the top with his aggressiveness on the field. It's great to be aggressive, but he just went out of control. Odell Beckham Jr. should have handled himself better, obviously, and his suspension was deserved. He should have been ejected. But tell me this. Why was it that you have this sort of battle and disdain between Odell Beckham Jr. and Josh Norman, where you have mutual respect between Malcolm Butler and Odell Beckham Jr. earlier in the season? What's the difference?
Because Josh Norman likes to get in people's heads. Josh Norman isn't a quiet type of guy. Josh Norman's an outspoken guy. And sometimes it backfires on him. Like this week, he talked shit about Julio Jones, and that completely backfired on him. And, I mean, that's just not the type of guy Josh Norman is. He's not a quiet guy.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, Brian,
is Odell Beckham.
And like you said, Brian, every team has guys that talk trash. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Malcolm Butler talks trash. He's one of the cockiest players on the Patriots.
Every player in the NFL talks trash. I mean, at one time or another, somebody says something that gets somebody riled up. And Josh Norman is one of those guys. He feels the need to do it every week. I'm not going to stop him, but I think at times it goes over the top. And this time it went over the top.
Sean, what are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with this statement that the Panthers could or are potentially sneaky, underrated, dirty team?
The Panthers?
Yeah.
I don't think they're a dirty team at all. I think Josh Norman is a feisty player. But other than that, I just think him and Odell just got in each other's heads all game and turned out and Odell Beckham
mostly
getting suspended. It wasn't anything pre-game. Like the bat had really nothing to do with it. It was just an exercise.
The bat totally had stuff to do with it. The bat totally did.
I really don't think it had that much to do with it. But
I mean,
it doesn't matter. Like I don't care.
It put both teams on angst, on edge.
All right. This conversation is kind of going long. Let's bring it back. A report came out this weekend found it was reported by Al Jazeera.
America. Al Jazeera, America.
Right. They have, I guess they have different countries or whatever. I'm not really too familiar with Al Jazeera or this report at all. But
I mean,
they named a bunch of athletes that uh, were prescribed HGH or were given HGH or something like that. Among them were Peyton Manning of the Denver Broncos, as we all know, Clay Matthews of the Green Bay Packers.
Whoa, Clay
Also,
Matthews was named?
Yep.
Clay Matthews was named.
Taylor Teagarden of the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard and Ryan Zimmerman were also named. But the main guy people are focusing on are Peyton Manning. I think it's because he's a superstar and one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. But also because this was reported, or this was the incident that was reported happened in 2011. And that was when Peyton Manning had the neck surgery, I believe. And since then, Peyton Manning's been on the injury lists, I feel like, more times than not.
Well,
so what are you guys' thoughts about this?
I think, no, I'm not saying that he definitely did it, but I think there's a very strong possibility that he did. I mean, I don't care if he did or not. To me, that's not what the story really is about, at least in my opinion. But I think he did do it. I'm not saying for sure he did, but if you look at the circumstances and the situation, so 2011 he had the neck surgeries, and I think Peyton Manning took HGH as a legitimate medical reason to help him heal faster, not to help him or to give him an advantage for performance purposes, but to actually help him get healthy and heal and for legitimate medical reasons.
Which is still illegal, but it's better than just to get stronger.
Right. It's better than what a lot of athletes do, which is to take it to make them better and give them a competitive advantage. So I think he did do HGH, but like I said, I think it was for a legitimate medical purpose or medical reason.
The reason,
in terms to help him, to help his neck heal. Now, if you fast forward to 2012, then Peyton Manning had one of the greatest, or probably the greatest season for a quarterback at the age of 38 or 39 or whatever he was, throwing 55 touchdown passes a year after he had 4 neck surgeries. So that makes it even a little bit more suspicious and doesn't really help Peyton's cause or case. But to get to what I think the real story is of this issue is how the mainstream media is dealing with this report and actually taking what Peyton Manning said at face value and believing what he said, as opposed to when Tom Brady denied that he had knowledge of ball tampering back in January earlier this year. No one in the mainstream media on ESPN believed him, and I just think it's just hypocritical in terms of how the media has handled these two stories.
The thing about it is Tom Brady and his team had a past history of cheating and being accused of cheating.
Well, can I say this, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tom Brady himself had up until Deflategate, Tom Brady himself had never been accused of doing any wrongdoing. It was the coach. It was the team. Do you think Tom Brady really had anything to do with the Patriots allegedly taping other teams' hand signals? No. He's focusing on quarterback stuff.
He probably knew about it.
I don't think so.
I know you
It's not like Belichick. Brian, It's not like Belichick, who's the head coach. Tom Brady is focused on the offense, on the quarterback. I don't think he had any knowledge of the videotaping. Why should he have knowledge of that?
Let
So
me put.
I think I think what spun Deflategate out of control is that and the way that the NFL handled it, it was that Tom Brady was unfairly targeted and punished for his team's uh, past actions, which really didn't have anything to do with him.
The thing about it is, and I think this has something to do with it too, because I understand your point, but I think part of it has to do. How many endorsements does Tom Brady have compared to Peyton Manning? Peyton Manning, you can't go 5 minutes without seeing him on TV and in something. And he's a lot more out there than Tom Brady is. Tom Brady doesn't really do commercials or anything like that. I can't remember the last time I saw Tom Brady in a commercial.
I mean, he does mostly print ads.
He does what?
He does mostly print ads.
Right. And yeah, stuff for Uggs and whatever. But I think that I can't go 5 minutes without seeing that Peyton Manning Papa John's commercial.
Or Nationwide.
Yeah, or that
HGH is so good.
I just can't stand any of those commercials. But at the same time, I think that helps Peyton Manning's case with a lot of people because he's a lot more out there and a lot more open. And the fact that he actually, instead, when Deflategate first broke, Tom Brady didn't say anything about it until he was really suspended. And Peyton Manning came out right away and said that this is crap and that I don't know this person. And the guy even said that, and I think another reason that helps Peyton Manning's cause. Now, I have no idea either. I mean, I think it's plausible too, but at the same time, I kind of believe Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning has that kind of Tom Hanks thing about him where you just generally believe what he says and just take it at face value. But I think the fact that Peyton Manning came out, did the interview with ESPN right away, and made sure that he made it very clear that he had no idea what any of this was, I think that didn't hurt his cause at all.
And I don't think I mean Tom Brady did come out. He had a press conference like 2 days after it happened, after that first report came out, and no one believed him then. He only went radio silent on that issue until after that initial press conference. So I don't think really.
You have to take, I think, the Patriots' reputation into consideration.
Right, but again, that makes my point stronger in that Brady was unfairly targeted for people because he plays for the Patriots and people don't like the Patriots and in their alleged past history of cheating, which they have already paid for, by the way, and they were punished again for basically because Roger Goodell. A lot of people think Roger Goodell went too light on the Patriots the first time with Spygate, in which case that was a case of double jeopardy, in which when the Patriots got punished for Deflategate. It wasn't just for Deflategate. It was for both Deflategate and Spygate, which is unlawful for being punished for something that you had already been punished on. So again, I think that helps my cause, or helps my case too. But like I said, I mean, I don't think any less of Peyton Manning because he was named in this report. I mean,
well, you didn't think highly of him originally, so.
But I mean,
that's true.
I mean, I see the thing with Peyton Manning is I think he's kind of grown on me because I know he's not. It's kind of like the Kobe Bryant effect, Yeah. Where like when he was so good, like you hated him and stuff. But as he's getting closer to the end of his career, you kind of realize they're probably not going to see the same type of player again, and so you have grown a more of an appreciation for him. And I think that's what my dynamic with Peyton Manning is now.
I mean, Peyton Manning is arguably he's a top. There's no argument. He's a top 5 quarterback of all time, and I think that I like I said, he's kind of reminds me. And you think of the person in entertainment who you trust the most, and for me, that's Tom Hanks. I see a lot of Tom Hanks and Peyton Manning.
Well, because they kind of look like each other.
Yeah, exactly, and you just kind of believe what they say at face value. Like Tom Hanks says something, you're like, okay, that makes sense. I think that Peyton Manning's kind of the same way. I mean, yes, his endorsements are everywhere, and I think that helps his cause too, as opposed to Tom Brady, because like I said, I can't remember the last time I saw Tom Brady in a commercial.
Well, Brady is in that Under Armour commercial.
Right. I don't even know which one you're talking about, but I know he does do some work for them. But I mean, the Peyton Manning Papa John's commercial, or the Nationwide commercial. I can't remember the last time I was watching ESPN, and I didn't see either of those commercials once. So
I do have to say this though. I kind of see a lot of similarity between Peyton Manning in this situation and Roger Clemens, because remember in the Roger Clemens steroids and HGH thing, the steroids and HGH was prescribed to his wife,
right?
Just like the HGH was prescribed to Ashley Manning. But now with Clemens, his wife actually does look like someone that has taken steroids and HGH also. I haven't seen a picture of Ashley Manning, so I don't know what she looks like. But I see a lot of similarities between that, and Roger Clemens was vehement in his denial of.
And nobody believed him either. And I don't believe him, and nobody should.
And the people that didn't believe him turned out to be right. He actually lied. And same thing with Rafael Palmeiro. He was vehement about him not taking steroids, and he was turned out to be a liar and was convicted of perjury. So just because he comes out right away and calls a report to be trash and garbage doesn't necessarily mean that the guy is telling the truth, because we've seen in the past where athletes have been vehement in their denials of using performance-enhancing drugs, and it turned out that the athletes were lying all along.
The thing about Roger Clemens, too, is that Roger Clemens had a past history of people really not liking Roger Clemens. Like, I mean, most people really, when he was playing, did not like Roger Clemens. I mean, he was kind of a jerk. Let's be real. We all remember when he hit Mike Piazza in the head and then threw a baseball bat at him. And Roger Clemens had a history of just being a dick on the field and being a dick off the field, too.
Like Barry Bonds, too.
Yeah, like Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens were basically the same person. Just one was black and white, one was
a pitcher.
One was a pitcher, and one was a hitter. And other than that, you've got the same person. And they both vehemently, denied any wrongdoing, and people hated them for it. But Peyton Manning had never really had that reputation of being somebody that people dislike. So,
and I think that's why the media has been Peyton Manning's lackey the last couple of days, and I think it still doesn't make me think that they aren't being hypocritical, because I think the media is being hypocritical in terms of how they're handling this and how they handled Tom Brady's denial as well.
Yeah.
And I do have to say this. We talked about this a little bit before the show also. The guy that named Peyton Manning, along with other players as well, he later retracted his statement, but I think his retraction is the lie, because if you knew that you were being videotaped, you would lie.
Yeah.
But he didn't know he was being videotaped, so he had no reason to lie. So I think his first and initial statement was actually the truth. I mean, regardless, the guy's shady, but still, I think his initial statement in which he named Peyton Manning, I think that is actually the truth. Sean, do you have any thoughts on this? I think Sean's frozen.
Oh no, Sean, come on. I want to hear what Sean has to say about Peyton Manning. Come on.
Oh boy.
Oh, come on, Sean, unfreeze.
It's
Got
like
really
his.
choppy.
All right,
Oh, wait,
Sean,
there
you're
you go.
Am I
back.
frozen?
Yeah, you're
You're
back.
not frozen anymore.
Okay, because that was just me. Because Ethan's whole last minute was just really choppy for me. So that was just
Okay.
me. All right.
Yeah, it was just you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling you guys before started recording. My whole thoughts on this stem from the exact same thoughts as Coach Mike Ditka. He said Al Jazeera is complete garbage, and I'm gonna have to agree with him because I know absolutely nothing about Al Jazeera, but I know a lot about Coach Mike Ditka, and he has never failed me. So I'm gonna say that these reports are complete garbage. Peyton Manning is a saint. Same with Clay Matthews.
He's a Bronco, actually. But
Well, right, but he's an angel.
that was a dumb joke. Sorry.
I appreciated that joke, Brian.
That was a dumb joke. Sorry.
But yeah, I don't care. HGH is as much of a part of a sport as Gatorade is, really.
Right. I mean, I think
I could care less
Yeah.
if people do HGH.
I think Sean and I are kind of in agreement in terms of we don't really care that Peyton Manning used HGH.
Yeah,
don't
especially
care
Peyton
either.
Manning.
Yeah. I mean,
Of course he's gonna use HGH. His neck
That
is
four neck
broken in
surgeries.
7
I was
places.
gonna say it kind of explains how gigantic his neck and forehead are that he used HGH.
Yeah.
I mean, that forehead should have its own zip code.
you mean 5 head?
that thing should literally have its own postal code, zip code, everything.
All right, this episode is running a little long, so let's wrap it up with the walk-off. We decided to recap our favorite sports moments of 2015, and we all know what Ethan's is, so why don't we just let him go first?
All right. Well, obviously the Super Bowl, regardless of whether you like the Patriots or like the Seahawks or like neither team, you have to agree that it was probably one of the best played Super Bowls ever. One of the best Super Bowls to be ever played. And it also had one of the most iconic moments in Super Bowl history. The Butler did it. Malcolm Butler's interception to seal the Patriots' 4th Super Bowl title at the goal line is my best sports moment of 2015. And I'm going to just go on record and say it's one of the best moments of sports history, not let alone just 2015, but in the history of sports.
All right, we got that out of the
Brian?
way.
That was nice and short. I like it. Thanks for keeping it short.
All right.
Go ahead,
my
Brian.
sports moment of the year goes out to the U.S. women's national team for destroying China. I think it was. It was China, right?
I think it was Japan, actually.
It was Japan, right. Japan. Excuse me, my bad. And winning the 2015 Women's World Cup. It's the only event that brings everyone in America together, I feel. There's only two. One is the Olympics, the other is the World Cup. And this is one of those cases, we're all Americans. We were all rooting for the women's national team. as opposed to the Super Bowl. I'm not trying to discount Ethan's moment, but we're all rooting for different sides and something like that, and we're all rooting for America. And that's my moment of 2015. Shout out to them. There were a lot of great moments in sports this year. There was Ethan's, Golden State winning the NBA championship, Serena Williams just dominating, Jordan Spieth doing great as well. But that was
American Pharaoh.
Of course. How can I forget? How can I forget the damn horse? Oh my God.
Because he's a damn horse.
That might be number 2 for me, but I'm going with the women's national team.
All right. My sports moment of the year was Kevin Durant calling out Wizards fans at the beginning of this season. As you all know, Kevin Durant's contract is expiring this offseason. He is from Washington, D.C., so there is a high likelihood of one of the best players in the NBA coming to Washington to play for his hometown team, which would be great. But Wizards fans have been taking advantage of that for about the past 3 years. They have been not purposefully disrespecting this Wizards team, but they have been disrespecting the Wizards team with John Wall and Bradley Beal being one of the best front courts, or was it front courts or back courts? What are the guards called?
Backcourt.
I think it's a backcourt.
Yeah, one of the best backcourts in the league with John Wall and Bradley Beal. We haven't really been giving them a whole lot of attention, which we should, and I just love Kevin Durant for calling us out for that, and hopefully we change over the season and get a lot of fans to the games, and hopefully we get a good playoff push towards the end of the season, and that'll make Kevin Durant want to come to Washington even more. So my favorite sports moment of 2015 is directly related to hopefully my favorite sports moment of 2016, which will hopefully be Kevin Durant coming to Washington.
I'm sorry, Sean, but that's actually kind of sad. That's
What?
your best sports moment of 2015.
I'm a Wizards, Redskins, and Orioles fan. What do you want me to say?
He could have said American Pharaoh winning the Triple Crown.
I don't care about American Pharaoh. I care about the Wizards, Redskins, and Orioles.
I'm interested to see, actually, how D.C. responds, because D.C. is not like Boston, New York, Philly. It's just not really a sports town. And so...
we are a sports town. We're not like a huge sports
You're
town
not
where diehard fans go to every game or whatever.
Yeah. When you think of great American sports cities, you think of Philly, New York, Boston, Chicago, places like that. D.C. doesn't really come to mind. But I think it's gotten better a lot. And obviously if Kevin Durant comes, then all bets are off. I mean, then you've got some of the best athletes in the world playing in that city. You've got KD, Ovechkin, Bryce Harper. Yeah.
Right.
Kirk Cousins, why the hell not?
One of the best in the world, baby.
Yeah, why the hell not? I couldn't think of anybody on the Redskins. I wanted to make it all 4, but I couldn't think of anybody on the Redskins.
All right. With that, that's this episode of the Sports Pulse. Thank you all for listening. Have a great day and a great life.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year.
Have a Happy New Year.
Happy
everyone.
holidays and all that jazz.
Merry Christmas.
Have a
Happy
crazy
Hanukkah. Yeah, happy
And
Hanukkah for all my black folks.
happy Christmas Hanukkah Kwanzaa.
Good one.
But and rest in peace, Meadowlark Lemon.
All right.
All right, we got everything off our chest. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Next.
All right.
Yeah. Next episode, we'll be previewing the Wild Card Weekend.
Hooray!
Yeah.
And we won't actually really talk about the Patriots. I'm sure you guys will be happy about that.
Yay. Sean,
You'll still sneak in the Patriots. Oh,
Sean,
of course
I may be coming up next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
What, for New Year's or next week?
No, I can't make it to New Year's because I have to work on Friday. But I
Okay.
am I'm going to try and schedule some job interviews for next week and come up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I gotta send out some emails tomorrow, but I'm gonna try and get that done.
All right, cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, later, man.
Oh, Ethan just rejoined the call. Yeah, fuck you, Ethan. Go away.